and it's kind of very informal session. So कोई specific structure हमने नहीं बनाया है, but it was a short notice. And on my request, one of my wonderful colleague from Chevening, Myra, has accepted to attend the session as well, because I was like, few people are going to start their interviews. When are you starting the interviews?
The first day was, I believe, 1st March. So interviews are officially starting from 1st March.
Uh, it's a good time, I think. We can share our experience, and I want to, make this declaration that it's completely based on my experience or whatever is Myra going to share. This is our experience of attending the interview. This is not kind of official communication or as an interview panel expert. No, nothing like that. It's just our experience that we would like to share with you. And like, I'm happy that you guys have approached us and asking for this experience sharing. So me and Myra are here. So I think me and Myra would like to introduce ourselves with some more info about us, and then we straight start with the tips and guideline. So myself is Sahar Yamin, and my field of working is reproductive health, family planning. So basically, I'm a public health professional. So and I had previous degree in social work. So basically, I am a social scientist, but my career path took me towards more into the health. So I was missing this relevant qualification background. So Chevening gave me opportunity in 22-23, and by selecting me, and I did my MSc in Global Public Health through Chevening from University of Essex. And so now I have completed this gap where with the support of the Chevening. So now by academics and by profession, I am a public health professional. So Chevening gave me the thought what I wanna do, because when you are writing your essays and you like to project yourself as a leader, whatever you're doing. So irrespective of the skills you're working, you need to think if you are a leader and what you want to do further. And that's the point where Chevening is going to select you, because you need to show that okay, if you have already worked on a small scale, but you have got the potential, and with your networking skills and blend of your leadership potential, you can start working to benefit more people, to bring change for more people around you. So, and that was the point that I really bring those desires and thinking and dreams into words. So, my statement as Chevening scholar is that I believe in bringing change, and I believe that it can be brought through attributes like hardworking, persuasion, empathy, and support. And I'm really determined to bring change in policy and foster the development accordingly. And I request Myra to introduce herself, my wonderful colleague. And thanks once again to join this session on short notice.
Thank you, Sarah, first of all, for inviting me, and it's an honor for me to share my experience with you all. So, myself, Maria Asif, I completed my master's in financial technology, fintech, from University of Exeter Business School as a Chevening scholar. So, back in 2020, I got like 5 fully funded scholarship, including the Chevening. I got two Commonwealth Share Scholarship, two British Scholarship for Women STEM. So, I got 5 fully funded scholarship in total, but I choose Chevening and reject all four. So because Chevening is is a very good opportunity because because Chevening gives you the opportunity to network itself in the UK as well, because they do organize some sort of events, organizations relevant to your field as well, and you can join free of cost as well. So, and when I was applying for the Chevening, I was a fresh grad. I had no experience, professional experience, because I graduated back in 2021, and then I applied for the Chevening because I had a very good experience in the extra activities or the social work or working with the NGOs and like this stuff. So Chevening always wants to see you as a leader, like not it's not relevant to, like they always want to see you as a leader, but not like in a sense if you're it should be relevant to your field or it should be relevant to your subject. It's good to have, but if you don't have your fresh grad, and if you are willing to change your course even, so they just want to see you that how good you are in making decisions, how good you are in making networks, how good you are as a leader, how good you are in taking initiatives. So that's all about Chevening. And basically, Chevening is not the academic program, it's more towards the leadership program. So, yeah, and it's all about me. And yeah, so over to Sarah.
Thank you, Myra. So what I have jotted down some points that we can talk about, and people. So the first thing, in my opinion, is about you attending the interview, being confident. So confidence is the first thing, because as soon as you come onto the camera, or maybe I think this year you guys are going to attend this in person. So first thing is that you should be confident. Every one of us know that when we are attending an interview, we have that anxiety and all those things. What will happen? How will our interview go? We all worry about these things. But yes, controlling your anxiety and being confident is would be the first thing, because that will be noticed in the first moment as you appear in front of the interview panel. And but I think confidence, to look confident or to behave confidently, you need to work on some other things, like you need to speak very clearly. Whatever you say, you speak it with clarity, and you know very well what you're going to speak. And how you will know this, we will tell you in our session. And the other thing is, you know, talking with confidence, that involves your body language. So you must need to make eye contact, keep it there. So make a good eye contact with the panel when you're talking, and just take it easy and show yourself very relaxed. And yes, do focus on your dressing as well, because you should dress formally. And when we say dress formally, it's not about wearing western clothes. So it's about whatever you wear, it should be decent and should be formal. So that's the first point that I wanted to talk about. Myra, would you like to add in that?
Yes, I would say just be confident, because confidence is the key in your application or in your interview, basically. So whatever you say, just speak with full confidence and with honesty as well, because they can quickly predict that whatever you're saying and what you have written in your application, because they have very expert team in the interview, in the panel interviews. So just be honest, and because this year the interview will be in person, so as the Sarah said, your dressing will be the plus point. So because like in the online you can just you can cover that part, the dressing part, but when it's in person, so everything will count, like how you talk, how you like the even basically your body language overall will count too in the in-person interviews, because in online it covers like somehow, but in-person interview, it's really important, and you should work on that as well, that whatever you speak, it should reflect on your body language as well. And other thing is that your four essays are very important in your interviews. So just like whatever you have done in your application, just go through again and again, because like whatever they ask the questions, so they will ask the same questions in your from your application, from your essays. So just prepare where whatever you have written, they won't be able. I'm not sure they will ask outside your application, but just be prepared for that as well. Yeah, over to Sahar.
Or yeah, that was our next point, the questions. And I think everybody wants to know what questions we're going to
Yeah.
listen in the interview. So, the questions are not different. What I had my interview is uh one question from each of your written essay. That's what you're going to hear. So
Mhm.
your questions are basically the same questions that you have prepared your application accordingly. For example, you were supposed to write your essay on leadership. So, for example, they can ask you, okay, tell us about the time you demonstrated your leadership skills. So you can expect one question from each of the essay. For example, you can expect, tell us how have you built your network and how that network resulted in benefiting the people. So, there's nothing different, nothing, unknown. You get the questions from each of your essay, and you need to answer those questions. So Myra has already spoken about it, so I move on to the next point, which is the answers. So basically, okay, now you're going to have those questions. Now the point is, how do you answer and what you answer? So what I can suggest you answer what you have written in your application. And Myra has already put light on that whatever you write in your application is basically your answer. And of course, if you already have done those things, though you had taken those actions, you worked on the ground or whatever you did, you actually did it, because when you speak, your talk can reflect you actually, did that work, because it's human nature. When we talk about something we experience in past, and when we talk about it, it brings those expressions, those feelings into your talk, and that reflects actually that whatever you have written, you are saying it the same way. And I wouldn't say that you need to just learn by heart each and every word of your essay and you say it. No, a big no. Because whatever you did, you had written it in 500 words. And your interview panel, when asked you a question, you speak like for a minute or for 2 minutes. You speak it with the key points and keywords that retain in your memory, and you say it. So the most important thing, how you answer that question, is through the approach. I believe all of you must have adopted the STAR approach when you're writing your essays. So can you tell us how many of you wrote your essays through STAR approach? Is there anyone who didn't adopted the STAR approach or can say, oh, I don't know what is a STAR approach? Is there anyone in our group?
I think no, ma'am. Everyone adopt a STAR approach. I think it's a very effective and it's very mandatory to win the application.
Yeah. Thank you, Ghulam Mustafa. So basically, when you speak, you also speak through STAR approach. So when I say you don't have to learn your answer by heart, it doesn't mean that you don't need to rehearse. The main key to successfully attend your interview is practice, 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 practice. So for the practice, I would say you have to do mock interviews. Do the mock interview with your friend, with your colleagues, or with anyone that you know, and you have to be, With the friends, we are usually informal, and when we try to speak with them, we don't get into that formal scenario that is required at the time of interview. So okay, practice with your friends, but do approach people with you interact formally, and so that when they ask you the question, you can feel that pressure, and you also by hand get practice on controlling your anxiety and speak very clearly to the point within a minute and or 2 minutes. You need to speak your story, and and you need to remember star approach as well. So the main point for successfully giving your answer is to practice and rehearse, do the mock interviews with the people you think they can actually observe you as well and judge you as well, how well you are going through this practice. So with this thing, Myra, I request you if you like to add on these points.
Yeah. So, Sarah, whether you have covered everything almost, so I would just like a few more points in this. So, I would say just like repeat all your four essays, that whatever you have written in your application, just repeat again and again and practice those questions. Because, like, and lots of people have concerns like whatever, because they ask the four questions only, and they always paraphrase those questions. The meaning of the questions is always the same, but they sometimes change the wordings or the meanings of the questions, but eventually the question is the same. So
The
lots
same
of
as
the people have the, yeah. So lots of the people have the concerns like what example we can share. So you can share the same example, or if you want, you can share the different example as well. I would recommend you to share the same example, because like it would be the more good for you to learn, because you have written in your application, you have understanding that, and the other people have also understanding. So it doesn't matter like you can share the same example as well, or just share the one example. Just don't go in the depth, or but whatever the example you share, just say in depth. Like, and always share your impact in numbers. If you have written numbers in your application, so share your impact in numbers, or share like in a way that just don't overshare, I would say. Just share whatever you have written in your application, or if you have extended few things in few months, like during your application to the interview, you can share that thing as well, that you were there when you were applying for the Chevening, and now you are in the interview stage and you have achieved this in that experience. So you can say this. I would say just share the best of your example, that that would be the impactful for you. And the another thing I would say, just use the very simple words. Don't go in the very complicated English, or if you think that if you say very good or advanced English, then it will create the good impact on the panelists. It will not, because you will get confused, because during that time you will also be in anxiety or like the stress as well. So it's better to use a very simple or the basic English, or but your words or the lines should be the like impactful. Your work should be the impactful. So that's the thing that I would just add on, as the Sahar has already covered everything.
So I second to Myra that when you start giving answer, start with your best example. It's not bottom to top approach, it's like top to bottom approach. So start with the bestest one, the strongest one, the most impactful example. And I think you should be able to cover it 90 minutes. And if panel doesn't stop you, you can continue with your second example, because as far as I remember, you need to write 2 to 3 examples in each essay. Is it like this year? I think whoever has written the application, you must have gone through the instructions. And uh, how many examples were you asked to write in the application? 2 or 3?
I think, sir, it's not mentioned that how many examples you have.
Ma'am,
It wasn't mentioned clearly, but there were instructions like you can write about 2 to 3 examples.
You have got selected based on your application because you mentioned those examples. So those examples has got the weightage. So as Myra suggested, maybe you had missed some good example that you remember later after submitting your application. But still, whatever you have mentioned in your application was actually the bestest one. That's why you got selected. Your application is shortlisted. So I would suggest to stick to those. And apart from that, for example, if someone has written just one example or two example and they want to know something else, maybe they can ask. So you can keep ready the third or fourth example with you. But as Myra said, usually the interview is not complex. They are simple and straight questions, and you can really stick to your application already submitted one. So that's the thing. Okay, so when it comes to rehearsal, I give you one personal suggestion, but I went through the other stuff where people mentioned this as well, but this is the thing that I actually practiced. I did it through making video. So I would start my video and I will start my answer and I stop the video. So what I'll do, I check how did I speak, what time I took to complete my answer, did I follow the star approach in speaking, and was my body language appropriate enough? Was I too much expressive? Was I too much loud? So you check how was your tone? Was it okay, relaxing, or it felt anxious? So you can criticize your own self. So keep making video of your rehearsal and keep criticizing yourself. Just remember, okay, I need to. You can do any small thing. If you have any specific sentence to speak in your essay and you want yourself to show very relaxed on that point, you want to say it with a smile, just plan it. Plan each and every tiny thing that you can. Plan it, record it, and review it and see which area you can improve further. And when you are able to speak for like good 20-25 minutes, I mean like a complete interview, then I recommend you to start with your mock interviews. Because so the thing is, when you want to know, okay, your practice has come to a specific level, now you should engage other people to do the mock interview. So bring yourself to a minimum standard by self practice, and then you can opt for a mock interview by engaging others. So I think that's the all from my side for this session. And now the forum is open for a question if you have that we should answer.
The another thing that I would like to add, like it's better to have like the 3.5 to 4 minutes per answer, because like ideally like it's 5 minutes, but when you will start speaking but you should practice like your answer should not go longer from 3.5 to 4 minutes, because in the actual interview when you will start speaking, your answer would automatically will go to till 5, because yeah. So and it's better to have, like as Sahar said, so you can do your interview practice by making the videos like this stuff. And I would also say that share, like do the mock interviews with your friends or family, or on the mirror as well, because I did this from the mirror, because like I had no one like in I practiced that with the friends as well, but it's better to have like they do the interviews and the mirrors, the video part is good, like the Sarah said. So yeah, sir, can we cover the chats, because a lot of questions they have put it on the chats as well.
Yeah, I just received a message that asks, can we use examples other than written in application essays for leadership networking? I think Myra already spoke about it. So we recommend you to discuss your written example. And on second priority, when we speak and we look at the panel, we can have an idea. Okay, if they want to listen you further, you can tell your different example. When I was doing my homework and practice and all, I had also approached to previous alumni, and they told me to not go for outer examples out of your application.
Yeah.
And I think Myra has also responded about the time length for your answer. So usually they keep, for example, you have 4 sections of your application, 4 essays or 4 questions. This is how the interview is divided. But you can, it depends on your strength. You can give a complete answer in 2 minutes. You can give your complete answer in 3 minutes, depend on your application, your essay, and your star approach. So 2 to 3 minutes are enough, I guess. As Myra said, if you wanna say it or you wanna take more time, so 3.5 are enough. It doesn't like you need to speak for continuous 5 minutes. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good question. I wanna answer this. When I was about to start my interview, I was having a lot of anxiety since morning. And I was in my office, so we had this wide, big board. So where I planned to sit, the board, I was facing the whiteboard. I wrote a lot of notes on that whiteboard, and I made a lot of yellow sticky notes and kept to my right and left and all. But literally, when I was speaking to them, because I was supposed to make an eye contact with them, I cannot look here and there like I'm reading the message from chat, and you can have an idea I'm reading somewhere. When I'm looking at you, you can have idea I'm looking at you and talking to you. So that nothing worked.
It's a very good opportunity because I have experienced that opportunity and I have gone through that the entire like selection process, and then I just came back like last year from the Chevening as well. So I know that how good opportunities and how well like you can pursue your masters over there, or like because it's fully funded, you don't need to worry about the financial things and like that stuff. You can like 100% consider on your studies and like other extracurricular activities as well. So it's a very good opportunity, life changing opportunity.